What's up, everybody? I'm Garnett Strother from Strother PT, and you are watching and listening to the Independent Traders Podcast. And today's special guest is the season finale. Actually, the season finale episode is starring my daughter, Liz. Today we talk about basically the epilogue of our chapter of being together and where she's going from here on out. She's going to be moving on to college, and we're going to talk about where we are emotionally. I may or may not cry in this episode, which is why I'll be wearing these sunglasses if you can hear them. And this was a tough one for me. It's visibly difficult, and so if you want to see some cringe stuff, stay tuned. All right, Volume 2. I think it's fitting that we end this season with one of our most popular guests of all time, Elizabeth Roberson Strother. Do you go by Strother? But it suits you.
I just don't say my last name.
Okay, that makes you feel great. Great, thank you.
No, well, I mean, I go by Roberson because it's on my birth certificate, and
Right.
usually when people ask for my last name, it's for something official.
Right.
But yeah.
You are official.
My thing on Instagram is Strother, though.
Why did you choose to do that?
Well, I don't know, my close proximity of you.
Proximal, okay. I'm around. Therefore,
I mean, the significance of it to me. I don't know, both names, they're not as, I don't want to like downplay the significance of my like namesakes, but they're like, I don't know, they're just
but
not
please
something.
do anyway.
Well, you make me seem like I don't care, but like, I don't know. Strother is definitely the one that I go by now.
Thank you. I mean, like, I think I probably told the story to you many times. I wasn't around for Liz's actual birth. I had to fight to even get into Liz's life because of the position I was in, and that's why Liz is not sharing my last name. So it means a lot to me to see it, because I would have to go through this like laborious process to get your name changed, which I've obviously given up on.
Grandma keeps asking me.
Yeah, I think she just, Grandma has a hard time letting anything go, I think, so don't pay any mind to that. But yeah, like, it does make things a lot easier if I'm trying to get you like ID and shit. So that's why Liz is Elizabeth Roberson and not Elizabeth Strother. Little known facts. But anyway, the reason why you're on this show, right, is because this is like our farewell tour. This is like, you're going to finally go away to COVID. Go away to college. COVID's finally going to take you away from us.
It's about time.
It's about time, COVID. What took you so long?
Yeah.
Liz is finally going to go away to college and leave the home and be an adult. Are you excited about this finally?
Extremely. I've been waiting for this for about 2 years now. Initially, of course, I wanted to go to college away, but as it happened, some stuff went down.
Yeah, 2020 was very difficult.
Yeah. So, I'm preparing myself for the transition. I've been talking actually to a bunch of potential roommates.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm kind of bad at communicating with multiple people at a time because we have a group text.
Okay.
But yeah, like just being away in a totally different environment, upstate, so everything's gonna be cold. But
Yeah, pack your warm shit, man.
yeah, no, I mean I have sweatshirts and my favorite thing like ever, my favorite article of clothing, no matter what the weather is always going to be a hoodie or a sweatshirt.
You look fantastic today, by the way, I have to say.
Thank you.
What do you call this look today?
I will say I look like a teacher who doesn't hate kids.
You definitely like, I think you're giving me like art teacher vibes for sure.
Yes! Oh my God, yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're looking like an art teacher.
Most of my art teachers that I've had are really cool.
But they look like their social life is not that great.
They're art teachers.
Wow. Way to shit on all the art teachers in the world,
No,
Liz.
you have to be like, I personally,
Yeah.
as someone who loves art and does art as a recreational thing, I have little to no social life whatsoever outside of either my boyfriend or you or anyone who decides that they want to interact with me.
So that subtle like boyfriend throw in there, that was pretty cool. You saw that? Other than my boyfriend. I have no social life besides my significant other that I should. Yeah, okay. We get it. You're an adult now, which is weird for me.
I imagine.
You know why people are afraid of parenthood? I think this is my theory.
Mm-hmm.
People are afraid of parenthood because it reminds them of their own mortality. And, you know, you're going to die. But you don't want to be reminded of every single day that there's this younger version of yourself walking around that's definitely going to outlive you and probably, you know, put your ass in the ground. And I think that's what scares people, you know? It's not even the responsibility aspect or like sacrificing your time. It's just the reminder that this all comes to an end. But I think that you being around me, even though I'm always trying to kick you out, so I can get like space, or I'm out the house.
Yeah.
You know, you're a constant reminder of how I should appreciate things and how quickly things can change. You know.
Yeah.
Because look at you, you look great. Look at you, man. You know what I'm saying? Dress yourself, you know, wiping your own butt. Feeling great. Feeling great out here, bro.
Definitely glad that I can do that last one.
Yeah, me too, because I got to live with you. But I think that, you know, the fact that you're sitting on the vantage point of like, I don't know, man. I've never been to where you're at right now. I've never been where you're about to go. So you're going to have a lot of things to teach me, I think, when you're going through this experience and after the experience. So I'm excited for you. You know.
Thank you. I'm definitely excited as well. I'm excited for you too because obviously as soon as I leave, you're going to have a different chapter in your life.
Not really. You'll be back. You'll be in it. You know, I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
yes, like stuff is happening. Things are in motion for both of us.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that, you know, my goal personally is like to learn how to ride a motorcycle and like go to Japan and do a fucking Akira slide.
A motorcycle?
Yeah, like my dad.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Papa is he's a bad motherfucker.
He's being called Papa now?
I'm sure. I think that he likes, because that's what his father was called. He's stepped into that role.
I remember calling him Papa and he was like, "There's only one Papa."
Yeah, well, we'll just call that to him behind his back.
Well, yeah.
But like, yeah, man. So what are your like? I mean, that's one goal I have down the line. I also want to move out finally and like go to another like location and live somewhere else and like experience being alone and like not living with anyone. You know, I've never lived alone because I had to take care of you and for 20 years, and I think that's really, I don't know, man. That's you know, liberating. When I'm in that place, then I feel like I made it. You know, I've gotten you to this place, and I'm really happy that you're here. But now I guess, I don't know, work on myself. What are you going to do when you work on yourself?
Well, I mean, that's never going to stop.
Right.
But, it's like, there's a lot. There's a whole laundry list of things that I wish that I could.
I mean, we got time. I mean, that's what
well, yeah. But, like, one of the most important things is, like, I have to take things at a pace that is realistic and helpful. Like, it doesn't help to rush things, but it doesn't help to drag things.
Right.
And sometimes I find myself doing both. I can either be a huge procrastinator or I have everything on my mind and I'm like going a mile a minute, and sometimes there's no in between. So one of those things, so I don't burn the candle at both ends, is that I want to be able to, I want to have those realizations where it's like, okay, it may not be an ideal situation depending on the circumstances, but like there's a process involved, and sometimes the process involves not being comfortable, which 90% of the time it's not. As being
90%?
90%.
I'm not comfortable right now. I'm actually quite emotional right now.
Oh yeah, this is a very, this is a touching It's deep and psychologically delving into yourself is very
Not that part. That's easy. That part's easy for me. I do that all the time.
but
Reconciliation with my mortality, totally fine with that.
yeah, no,
Yeah, I've been
it's a
doing that for
breeze.
like 2 decades. I think what's emotional about this conversation for me is that I don't know where to go from here. Like I don't know. I want to do the right thing for myself, and I don't know what that looks like. I don't know. I don't. I literally had everything planned up until this point. You know what I mean? What purpose does anything have now that I'm here? You feel me? Everything I did was for you, and everything that I do now is for me. And I don't know if that's enough motivation to pursue something, to pursue anything. You know what I'm saying? Being internally motivated to do certain things that are not pertaining to the outcome of like everyone around me or like the people I care about. It's not something that I'm really motivated by, I don't think. So I'm gonna have to dig deep and find a way to make things happen for myself as opposed to doing it for the people I care about, my clients, you, my family, you know. So that's why I think that Japan trip would be pretty cool. I think that it's what I always wanted to do. It's what I would have done if I didn't have you, I guess. I would have went to Japan, been fighting and shit. I would have been, living like a real life fucking Ryu lifestyle.
With the sack and everything.
With the sack, just like, you know what I'm saying?
Off I go.
Off I go, barefoot along the highway.
I mean, yeah, like it's hard, especially when you have something that's significant in your life that you've been having as like a basis for everything you do and a reason for why you do them. For me, I think it's been like you and pretty much my family being like there. It's like I love the presence, and even though like we're out and about a lot because we need space to grow, I now realize that that presence is everywhere with me. It's not just when you're home or when both of us are just like doing our own thing in the apartment. It's you're my dad, and the years that we had together, especially like after I moved in with you, I was like, I had absolutely no idea how different it was going to be until like high school started, and I was like, oh, things have changed immensely.
Yeah.
And that was scary for 14-year-old me, and it's scary for 19-year-old me now. Now that we're both having such trajectory to something like totally new, like. But that's the thing. That's why I'm here. That's why, I may struggle with finding reasons to live for myself as well. I do have those moments where I question my own mortality and the effect that I have on everybody else and the effect that I'm having now. And I wonder if I'm like doing enough to, I guess, satiate my need for changing things.
Yeah, always been that's a thing that I think that we struggle with together. Your mental health, if you're okay with us talking about this,
Of course.
has always been something that was a learning process. So, for people that don't know, Liz suffers from depression, anxiety, and she's also type 1 diabetic, which doesn't really help any of those things because you're constantly your hormones are out of whack. So it's like you have all these other things, plus like just the existence of like the weight of existing.
Just awareness of everything.
And basically, recently are delving into of how she might or may not be on the spectrum for autism, and it kind of brings a lot of things into question for how I like parented you and how I navigated doing the best that I could. Like if I ever thought that that was a possibility before, I would have done things completely differently. So there's a lot of remorse that I feel for like how I did things based on this new information. And if you ever felt like I didn't care about you or I didn't value you being around, then I apologize. I love you more than anything in the world. And I think that you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. I don't know if I'm ever going to have an event in my life that's as significant as you. And yeah, I just want the best for you. I'm really trying not to cry, but I'm really just excited for you, and I'm really just like happy that you made it this far. I know it was hard. I know it was way harder than we could possibly talk about. Being in the hospital at nights and like, for me it was like being in the hospital with you for your mental stuff, and then for diabetes, and then sometimes we were in the same hospital room that I was in, like the same exact fucking room, and it didn't change anything.
Yeah, that couldn't have been great for the psyche.
Nah, man, and I just gotta just like sit there and eat it because it's not about me. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like sitting there, I'm looking at the same wallpaper that I had to look at when I was very sick, when I was a kid, while my kid is sick, and there's nothing I can do but wait and see what the deal is. And yeah, I remember like once that you had a seizure. I was sitting in a room. I was in the room next door, and I just heard you choking. Luckily, it was dead quiet in the house, and I just heard you choking in the next room and foaming at the mouth. And I opened the door, and there you were, just like eyes open, foaming at the mouth, just like choking on your own tongue. And you had gone into a diabetic coma. And I want to say that I wasn't even fucking scared. Like I wasn't like, I immediately just kicked into like, all right, well, okay, adjust this, make sure she doesn't choke on her tongue. And I remember Blake was there, and Francis was there. Thank God Francis was there to help me. Shout out to Francis for being like.
Yeah, Francis is a real one.
She's the realest, dog.
Yeah.
I know I don't talk to her as much now, but.
I don't either.
Yeah, we should definitely hit her up. But and Blake too, the unsung hero, my brother Blake. I couldn't have raised Liz without either of them. So yeah, they were there. They were like frozen. They love you so much. They were just like frozen. But I was like, I'm not having that shit. I was like, yo, let's go. You call the ambulance. You get some sugar, something with some sweet in it. Luckily, the taste of like the sugar from I think we use orange juice. The taste of it like brought you back. And it was just like like your tongue and your brain kind of like started stimulating again, and you kind of came to slowly as the ambulance came, and then. We went to the hospital to make sure that you weren't like epileptic, and then we were in the same room that I stayed in. Like when I was a kid, I was very sick, and when I was so sick, I would stay in the hospital for weeks at a time. I would be in the hospital so long, I would have to go to school in the hospital. There was a school in Bellevue that would just cater to like sick kids, and I was in a wheelchair, like wheel myself in to class every day, and it was just super traumatic being in that room again. And like I never thought that I had to be there again. You know what I'm saying? Because you forget, you just bury it in your subconscious. And being there with you in that position, I don't really think about it that much, but I really think that now it's shifted a lot of my thoughts. It shifted a lot about myself, about how I do things. Being confronted with your mortality in that kind of like bizarre way, which shakes you to your core.
Yeah. And like obviously diabetes is a huge check for me and everybody involved, including you, on mortality. On my
But I don't
mortality.
want you to make you feel like you were ever a burden. You know what I'm saying? Like you were never burdensome. You know what I'm saying? I was a fucking burden. Like my mom, like I was just like fucking up all the time. I was getting into fights, and I was sick. You know, and I'm a black male in society. And my mom was just like, dude, you are a black man in society. You cannot fuck around like this. You know what I'm saying? Like they are hunting you. They are not, the cops are not having it, dog. Like they're not, when I was your age, every black kid got that same talk. You know, you didn't have to get it because you're a woman, but
I had a different talk.
you had a different talk, exactly. Watch out for these niggas. And then if you're niggas, is like, watch out for everyone else. You know, it's like, that talk is just like, you know, different when you're sick and, you know, you don't feel like you have the tools. But I always wanted to instill in you that you have the tools. You had the tools. You do. You just got to look within. It's not out here. So when you're in an unresourceful place, like we all are, I want you to look inside yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
Because you got the juice. You got the juice now, kid.
Got the sauce. Sauce lasts way longer than juice, as I've been told by
The internet?
Yeah. It's always the internet. Like
That whole analogy doesn't make any sense, though.
I don't know either. But it like
I wouldn't want to eat barbecue sauce that didn't expire until the year 2024. Why would you want to eat something like that?
I wouldn't want to eat barbecue sauce.
All right, well, that's besides the point. The point is that juice does last longer than sauce if the sauce is disgusting. Anyway, we're going off on a major tangent. Let's take a little break, and then we'll head back to that.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me moving forward? Like, do you seek any advice from your dad before you go to college?
I mean, I could probably not things you've already told me because you've consulted with me with a lot of things, which
That's
is what.
right. I will be sending you a bill.
Okay.
I'll send you the invoice.
Good.
Have my people talk to your people.
Checks in the mail.
Right.
But I just feel like we've touched so much ground that I feel like now I do truly believe that I have the skills and that now my main goal is to believe that I can hone them because everything that you've taught me, everything that my mom, my grandmother, everybody that had sat me down to talk about whatever aspect of life that they feel like I could go with, I feel like has been shared. And I think that's one of the greatest things about, what I have. Because, in extreme turmoil, I almost never think about, the positive aspects of everything that I have. I mostly just think about all that I have that I'm not using.
Right.
But yeah, my main focus now is to just like use them, no matter how unworthy I may feel at that time. Because, to me, everything that has come before me is like a whole legacy, whatever happened, like,
That's a lot of weight.
That is a lot of weight.
Yeah, you don't need to put that on, bro. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
That's the whole fucking point.
Like
is that
it's
you
me,
don't
though.
feel the weight. Yeah, but everybody feels that way. You're not supposed to feel the weight of your entire ancestors. It's not Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not inheriting all of this Avatar-like, you know what I mean? Like experience. Relax. We bust our ass so that you can have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there's a difference between like having the weight of existence and like privilege that you're not aware of. Somewhere in between that spectrum, you need to understand that that's where you're at, and to appreciate what you have and move from there. But anyway, I feel like every time we get together, there's got to be some like wild, deep shit. But we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. Very serious question. How do you feel about Space Jam 2 that just dropped?
God.
Okay, that's enough. Sorry, LeBron. Why is everybody shitting on Space Jam 2?
Because, I don't know.
Because it's not Michael Jordan. That's the reason. Why else do
Really?
we hate on LeBron? Because he's not Michael Jordan.
Because wow.
That's the only reason why we hate him.
That's like a weird reason.
Yeah, well, that's
'Cause
the
it's
only reason why
LeBron.
people hate LeBron. He's like the greatest of all time.
I know.
He's like the greatest human of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just amazing. I would rather hang out with LeBron than Jordan any day.
I have no faults with LeBron James.
Me either.
Like,
Me either.
Absolutely none.
Except for Space Jam 2.
Except for Space.
He did his best, man. You try acting with an animated rabbit. That's hard, bro.
Yo, like, I mean, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was.
Listen, don't bring up the GOAT of all collaborations between animated and real people. That is the greatest movie of all time. Cool World.
Cool, yes, also. But I think I haven't even watched the movie, but the ads are just like.
Cringe?
Yeah. They're not selling it very well.
No, they're not. They're just trying to sell that back Warner Brothers catalog of characters. You know what I mean? Like, why is Alex Lestrange from Clockwork Orange hanging out with the Looney Tunes? Did you see that?
No.
He shouldn't be there. They got rid of Pepe Le Pew,
You guys?
supposedly a rapist, and then you put this nigga in there? That's crazy.
Dude.
Pepe Le Pew has literally done nothing wrong.
He's the antithesis of the Me Too movement.
No, I think Alex is, because Alex from Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
That guy's way more dangerous at the ball game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't let that guy in. How are you gonna have a good time out there in college life? You can't drink. You know?
I don't want to.
Yeah, okay. That's what.
I don't.
That's. Listen, okay. I said the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, here we are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know until you're there. It's one of those things that no one can prepare you for like that kind of lifestyle, because it's normalized there. It's so normalized. However, drinking can kill you. So no pressure or anything.
As a diabetic, a lot of things can kill me.
Yeah, see, that's the exact thinking I don't want you to have. You know what I'm saying? It's like normalizing the fact that this stuff can make you really, really sick. Lots of diabetics are alcoholics. You know, because once you get that first sip and then like the voices go away, you know what I'm saying? Like this is real shit. They don't
Is
tell
that
you.
what happened?
Yeah, that's what happens. Your parents don't tell you that like, oh, this drinking is bad. You'll drive drunk and then you'll fucking die. Yes, that's true. But drinking also makes those voices go away when you're young, because you don't have the ability to quiet that mind yet. So that's why a lot of the kids get really hammered. You know, they got a lot of stress, especially now. So when you're presented with that as an alternative, it's going to take a lot of, self-determination and strength to say no, especially when all your friends are plastered and you're just always the designated driver, and you're just going to have to step into that role because you want to chill out too, right? So basically what I'm saying is just smoke a lot of weed. That's basically what I'm just saying here. It's just marijuana is your friend. Okay?
Okay.
And just stay off the booze. You know what I'm saying? Don't smoke and drive.
Hey,
that's stupid.
Listen.
Don't drive with anybody that's like,
I have to know how to drive.
I mean, I don't know how to drive either, man. You're on your own, bro. Talk to your uncle.
My uncle and my mom are my two best chances at
Well, you'll figure it
learning.
out.
Yeah.
So anyway, man, College Liz, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful time. Not too wonderful of a time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I'll be in touch.
I hope so.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks for coming on the show.
Is it over?
It's over. That's it. This is the end of the first season. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any college advice for Liz, please write it in the comment section or DM me.
Or me?
No, we'll stay off of Liz's Instagram because she's a minor, and I don't feel like I have to come after somebody in their house.
I'm 19.
Anyway, you're gonna DM me. So the internet's a weird place, Liz.
It is.
Why would you invite that then?
I don't know. Well, this is your
It's my
people
thing.
that you're talking to.
Right? But anyone can see it. You realize that's how the internet works. Like, people can share this, and anybody can see this. I feel like we're the two old guys in the Muppets.
It's like cracking jokes and heckling.
Yes, heckling ourselves. But anyway, I'm proud of you. I love you. And I'll see you on the other side, dog. Tell me how it is over there.
I definitely will. I probably will have a lot of stories anyway. So
Yeah, you will.
you.
And I only want to hear about half of them. So please take it easy on your dad.
I mean, it's in Poughkeepsie. I don't know how crazy they
Liz,
are.
we're trying to
in
wrap it up
Poughkeepsie.
here.
Okay.
We're trying to wrap it up. Goodbye, everyone. Say goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Peace.